All right, guys, welcome to the Daily HiFi Show. Hope you guys are having a great week. Tonight, we got a special show in store for you. Down in the bottom left, we got our man Techno Dad. He's in the house as always. Bottom right, new record day, Mr. Ron. You know what? Let me do this. I had two audios going. Hang on one second. There we go. All right, I had two audios going. That was so confusing. All right. Up to the right, we got Joe from Joe and Tell.
Woo!
And tonight, guys, we are super pumped. We got a special guest, Mr. Adam from Worldwide Stereo. What's happening, Adam?
What's up, everybody? How are you?
Good, man. Glad you could join us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. How's everybody's week been doing?
Good. Groundhog Day.
Y'all are lying. It's been crazy, right?
Yeah.
I know it's
same.
I mean, I work from home, so it's kind of the same, except the wife and kid are here more.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I've got 4 kids, and 3 of them are here because my son just got married. What was it? 2 weekends ago. We had to do a backyard wedding because he was supposed to get married this past weekend. So that was a little interesting, but everything is good, man. Everything is good. Cool deal. Let's see who's over here in the chat.
Regular guy audio, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, Optimus? Regular guy's always here. Good to see you, man. Alan Copeland. We got Rockhurst, K6er Jr. Cool deal, man. Well, what's been new in y'all's your area? What you guys been up to, Joe?
I don't know. I've been stuck here, so what else is new? I don't know. If there's something new going on outside, I don't know about it.
Yeah. I think the hardest thing for me, not only having the wife and kids here all the time, is my wife's a school teacher. And so she's now having to do like virtual school, which has just been absolutely crazy, man.
Wow.
Yeah, everybody's just trying to figure it out as best they can.
We had a virtual birthday party for my wife. It was her birthday on Friday.
Oh my God, cool. Man, that's crazy.
So some of her friends were like, let's get on a Zoom call. So like they were all on Zoom. And this was the same time they were Beatport, which is a music store for DJs. I go there a lot to download like, AIFF files of like songs I want to DJ. And they were doing a 24 DJs, 24-hour live stream. And so we were all tuned into that, listening to that in the background while we're talking. And I was actually making her dinner, and she was talking to 4 or 5 other people. So they're all playing games. They were playing Never Have I Ever, King's Cup. They were playing all these drinking games, and everybody had their drink and ready to go. So it was, it's interesting. And then she passed out at 10 p.m. And then so I decided to.
Did you enjoy the rest of the birthday party for her?
No, I decided to dial in the subwoofers, the 2 15-inch rail subwoofers I have, and I went to like 3 a.m. blasting stuff. I had the big 100-inch screen up. I'm getting a text from the teenager downstairs at 2:30. Can you turn it down, please?
Hey, Dad, that's too loud. That's too loud.
Because that's what you do, right? When everybody's partying, you're setting up subs. That's how you party.
That's the way China rolls, man.
It was a fun Friday night for sure.
We got some comments here. Michael, I don't know if you're seeing them there.
Go ahead, man.
You pop them up on the screen, bro.
Yeah, you're the host.
Well, yeah, but I gotta.
It says, "Hi, Adam. Love Worldwide Stereo." Right there.
I see that.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Tech assistant is correct. He asks, he or she, I don't know, asks, is that a HiFi speaker?
HiFi, yeah, HiFi research. That's correct. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so people recognizing it.
That is correct. Look at that.
So what's they got in it, Adam?
So we got two of the 4-inch drivers, and then down below there's a 7-inch woofer down there, and then I have the RM Cantus ribbon tweeters right here. It is a DIY project. My father's been building speakers for an incredibly long time, and I got these from him a few months back. He built me a center channel to match, and I got dials on the back of them to adjust the gain of all the crossovers. So it's a pretty awesome speaker for a DIY project. I mean, I put these up against, I think, speakers in the $7,000 to $10,000 range. They really perform.
Wow, that's awesome.
And we were talking about it a little bit before we went live, and that is two the two tweeters you see right there, they're not overlapping in frequency response.
No. Basically, the vertical one goes to 20, and then up from there, the super tweeter handles everything out clear past 40.
Good man.
And again, I have dials on them to kind of play around with them. And when I was setting them up, I used an RTA to kind of level everything out and get the gains all right. And they're on casters too, which is great. So typically put them up against the back wall when I'm just doing my home theater. But I have spots marked on my floor where they come out when I bring them out to do my 2-channel listening. So really awesome. I really love having speakers on casters.
Very
Ron,
cool.
I think you just had some of that the other day, didn't you?
What's that?
Little markings on the floor.
Oh,
Who was that? That was you, right?
Yeah, no, what it was is the little rubber feet on the bottom of the shit audio products. They leave little skid marks. That's not a pun. I'm not even trying. Yeah, no, it just wiped right off. So no harm done, no big deal. I'm not mad, but yeah.
That's fun. We got my daughter. She's checking in with me. Make sure Dad's behaving himself. Hey, Rachel. We even got Worldwide Stereo here.
Ooh.
Hey, you guys like my shirt right here? You guys like my shirt?
Look there. Joe is representing well.
What's up?
There you go.
Yeah.
We are
That's a
grateful
sponsored
for
mention, guys. That's a sponsored mention right there. I'm just kidding. It's not. It is not. I just like the shirt.
Wait, here's what we need to do.
You guys want freebies? Just send me some awesome shirts.
Right here.
That's it.
Here's my shirt and then Joey's shirt. We need more. And Joey, stand up.
There you go. We need more.
We need more worldwide stereo.
There you go.
There you go.
That's awesome. So, Adam, kind of speaking of Worldwide Stereo, kind of tell us a little bit about you, maybe your position at Worldwide Stereo, and maybe a little bit about your background in audio.
Oh, happy to do. Yeah. I mean, this will be my 11th year going in with Worldwide Stereo. My position is I'm sales and design. So a lot of the times I'm out in customers' homes, working on new renovation projects or new home builds or remodels and all that. I love audio at the heart of it. That's really what I love to do the most and so at the store, I'm kind of the resident audiophile guy. I do a lot of turntable setups for people. I've been to San Francisco and Sumiko and kind of learn the speaker calibration thing. So after I sell a pair of speakers, I go out to people's houses and, properly place them in the room, things like that. I just get into it all, man. And I love records just as much as streaming technology. I play music. I've been in bands and put me behind a drum kit. That's
your deal, man.
That's my deal. But with the current situation, toddlers and teenagers and that, I haven't fortunately played drums as much as I'd love to. So the acoustic guitar has kept me busy. So that's what I would do.
Very cool.
Nice.
So you kind of sound like more of a 2-channel guy than home theater. Would you say what percentage you think?
I'd say if I had my way, it'd be like 80-20 2-channel to home theater. But
I like this guy.
I knew you would.
Given the family situation and such, trying to set up the speakers and listen to 2-channel as much as I want to in the house isn't an option. But that, is nice when I'm at work. That's where I do a lot of my unwinding is when I'm at the showroom. So I'm certainly missing that now. But every day, man, I've been working to listen to vinyl. I put records on, and I got a JVC back here, an older JVC model QL5F. And it's got a repeat on it, so I can just hit repeat and just at least play the same side a couple times before I get to the next one, and it keeps me busy. It's great. And I apologize. That's my toddler. If you hear her in the background, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
She's moving right now, but music. If I could do it, 80-20. But I certainly love home theater. I mean, I have an 11-channel surround system, so I definitely do some good home theater as well.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Super cool, man. Well, if you guys see any comments over here that I missed, let me know.
You also do. So you do those YouTube videos. I've seen your you do all the YouTube stuff, and you're just awesome on there. I'm all there taking notes.
Taking notes. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, everybody, we got on YouTube, a Worldwide Stereo channel. I've been doing videos now for about 2 years with them now. So I get a chance to play with a lot of cool product, take it home. And it's really fun to be able to be in that position to get that stuff and do the product reviews on it and teach people. And I love the comments too, that like people comment and ask me questions and I can get back to them and have a great dialogue with them. So it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome. It's all about that interaction.
Great speakers. Thanks, Dave.
Adam's getting like more love than we are, guys. Man, we need to bring him back on here more
He's
often.
the man.
Yeah,
Look
yeah,
at
yeah.
that.
man.
Well,
You're
let's,
saying
let's be
Sumiko
honest.
method, right? I kind of heard.
Yeah. I went out to California, San Francisco, California, and learned how to set up speakers. Now, it was a 3-day course, and of course, you listen to the same song forever. But
Was that the something horse something?
Yeah, you got
Dance
it.
of the freaking.
Almost there. The Battle of the Runaway Horse. Jennifer
Oh yeah. Oh man,
Blue Raincoat album.
I've heard that a lot too.
It's a great album to listen to. I think it's called Your Reprise. Another great demo track for everybody out there. Check that one out.
Got it.
It's called Reprise.
Reprise, You Are the Reprise, something like that. It's got this like almost like pipe organ, like 28 hertz, like
Nice.
it's really a stretcher system out there.
Super cool, man. All right. Well, we've got a couple of questions that we'll start off tonight. And then, Chana, I think you're still working on yours.
Oh yeah, I think I figured it out.
Chana kind of forgot. So that's all good. All right. So the first question is mine. What's your worst pet peeve during an audio demo? If you're sitting down in a 2-channel, maybe you're demoing it or somebody's wanting to demo something for you. Like, what is one thing that like just gets on your nerves that they might do?
Worst pet peeve during an audio demo.
Yeah.
People talking. I mean,
Okay. So like what, I mean, are they like asking questions or what?
oh well, I was actually the one doing the demo, and I'm like standing there. This is when Joe and I were at the show, and I was showing off the Canto tux.
Mhm.
And like, a lot of times they're like, oh, listen for this and listen for that. And I feel like kind of like a douche saying all that stuff because I mean, if you can't like notice it, like
Right.
leave.
Yeah,
But anyway,
yeah.
so you still have to like point out some things. And so I was doing it and I'm like, and then this guy's like, well, I'm trying to listen. And I was like, oh, sorry. So I was the
awesome.
asshole in that situation, but I would hate that too.
Sure.
During all right, so I've been on both ends, right? So I've demoed stuff like Shauna was saying. We were demoing some systems at the show, and of course, people always want you to play their music, right? And here's the problem with that. Problem is, yeah, I'm down to play other people's music, but sometimes they're not considerate of the other people who are there. So they'll ask for some song that nobody knows or everybody hates.
Right.
So like I'll play the song and then next thing you know, the room is like empty.
Oh no.
So that's not good.
Sure.
I would like to play a song for people so they can hear their track, but you can't be clearing out the room with some weirdo tracks.
Ron, what about you, man?
I'm an easygoing guy. I don't really have too many pet peeves. I would say that if we're talking about like folks that come over to my house and usually what I do when I have friends come over and we're going to be listening to music, I love cooking. So I'll cook up a dinner and, you're whining and dining and you're preparing for that moment of we're going to listen to some music. And so you're talking about it. And usually these are folks that have never experienced hi-fi. And finally, when the time comes to sit down and listen, they're not even sitting in the middle seat, even though you've been talking about it for like 4 hours. And it's like, hey, come sit in the middle. Come sit right here. And they're
Do you think that's just lack of knowledge, or is that they don't want to sit in your spot? Maybe.
I guess no, because I'm not even sitting there. Like I'm like, yeah, you want to be right there.
They're all sideways. They're like, yeah, it sounds good, man. It sounds good.
Yeah. And look, most of the time they're cool and they're like, yeah, no problem. But then you got like that one guy that's like, oh no, I'm good. And I'm like, no, you're not good. Right. You need to sit right here, or you can leave.
You're like, we're listening to electrostats. You need to sit right there, literally.
Yeah. Don't move your head.
Nah, it's all good. I have a lot of fun with it.
Adam, any pet peeves, man?
Yeah, a combination of all the stuff you're talking about there. I mean, I'm on the showroom floor. I'm on that all the time. And, you tell somebody, all right, sit here. And they stand in front of the left speaker.
Yeah.
Like just stand right in front of it. And you're like, come on back over here. You really want to sit here. It's really where it sounds good. And then they sit down and they're like, so what's this track again? Yeah, man, I think it sounds great. You're like, quiet. Just listen. Just shh. So it's a combination of all that, but I think that's the, and you play your demo tracks, you have songs that you want to showcase the speaker with and things like that, and then somebody asks to hear something and you put it on and it's just like an awful recording, but of course you don't want to tell them that or anything like that. You want them to hear, because guess what, they're going to play that when they get home anyway.
Right.
Mhm.
But I think the moving around and the talking during the demo is probably the worst.
Yeah, the talking definitely for me, whether I'm giving the demo and they just want to chit chat, I'm like, man, just shut up. Listen to my speakers, man. I want you to hear what it sounds like. Or if I'm on the receiving end and I want to listen to something, and kind of like one of you said, if they're trying to tell me, hey, you should be able to hear this coming up. It's like, just let me hear it coming up. I mean, if the speakers are that good, if the amplification is that good, if the processing is that good, I should be able to notice, those types of subtleties. So. Cool.
Wow. So that we got through that whole thing without anybody mentioning Hotel California or Diana Krall. That's pretty awesome.
Keith don't go. Yeah, Keith don't go.
Oh goodness, man. All right. Let's take a look at some questions here. All right. Oh, mercy. We got Bo's comments or hitting it hard over there.
Someone said something about, dude, get Bose where the whole house is the sweet spot. So there it is. Sleazy pig. There it is.
So just curious, does Worldwide Stereo sell Bose?
Yes, we do. We have some of their portable products for the house audio stuff, the Bose music products, and the lifestyles and the sound bars. Yeah, for sure. And the headphones.
And I think honestly, they fit a niche. There's a group of people out there that, that's what, they want. And I think as a provider, then, if they're willing to buy it and that's what they want to spend their money on it, who are we to tell them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would rock some Bose Bluetooth speed. The little Bluetooth thing's pretty good. Their headphones are good. So come on now.
I had the,
I agree. I like their headphones.
I had the Bose Sound Dock from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Adam's wearing them. Yeah,
ain't nothing wrong with those.
Yeah,
there you go.
And I think I got that Blue Sound Node 2i, and they're really going after that whole that kind of look, that like white, sleek, easy to use kind of situation. So I mean, there's something to be said to that Bose stuff, at least the look.
You guys like noise canceling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
Well, you can thank Bose for that.
Yep.
You know, one of the coolest things that I saw from Bose, which is not even audio related. You guys seen that car demo with the suspension that they came up with?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Ridiculous. Basically, they came up with these shocks. It's so unrelated. It's weird. But Bose came up with these shock absorbers and they put it on this old Lexus and they're going over these speed bumps at like super fast speed and the car's just staying straight. It's like, the wheels are just going like this and the car's
like a gimbal for your car, man.
It's like a gimbal for the car.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow.
Sweet.
Good work, man. So we got some Bose fans in the house.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and I'm gonna jump to the next question here. Let's find it. Here we go. All right. I don't know who this one came from unless that is an old one. That may be an old one. All right, we're gonna go with this one. Here we go. Do you think a YouTube reviewer for HiFi should always include how their room measures when it comes to a speaker review? This comes from Mr. Ron from New Record Day. What you think, fellas?
That could be useful, I suppose. I mean, every
is it
room
necessary? Should they always do that?
I don't know if it's necessary, but I think it could help give a good reference point as to where the review is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
They have that background detail.
I think it's going to be hard. I mean, especially think about how many videos we put out, in a given week, in a given month. And I just don't see how every single review, we're able to do that. So, I mean, I guess you could.
Well, if I don't know. I don't do any measurements, so I wouldn't know.
John's like, no, it's not important. Who cares?
I mean, personally, I think you can go both ways with that. But if you look at it, you could say if you have the specifications on your room and then you put out the review, then at least have a reference point of, hey, well, their room is, super, has a big bloom at 200 hertz or something like that, and that could add some value to their review. But then again, if they don't give it and they just say, look, I'm putting it in a normal room, sometimes that can give you a review on a speaker and that it's going to sound good in any room. You know, so is this a speaker that only sounds good in a perfect room, or is it a flexible speaker? So, I mean, I think I think it's nice to know, like, if you know that you have this guy's got a lively room, or you know what, this speaker sounds great in his room because he treated the heck out of it, you know, first reflection points and all those types of areas that are important to do. So, you know, I don't know. I think they should tell us, look, I've treated my room or I haven't. Are the measurements important? Maybe, but treated or not treated, I think is a good thing to know.
Okay. I think maybe even with that, I mean, I'm not super technical when it comes to acoustics. You know, I treated my room in the first reflection points, and then honestly, the rest I was trying to just mainly tame a slap echo. I had the most massive slap echo in my theater room. You could clap one time, and you would just hear this nasty reverberation. And so I basically was trying to tame that, but you know, I didn't have any kind of measurement equipment to be able to say, okay, when I placed it there, here's what it fixed, you know? So even having some acoustic treatments, I guess that can even be weighted on how effective they were, you know? So what do you think up there, Joe?
Well, I think, you know what, everybody has to do their own thing. You know what I mean? Whatever they're comfortable with, that's what they should do. I don't think they should do anything that they don't feel comfortable doing, right? Because then, I mean, it's probably not going to be good.
Yeah.
They're probably not going to be into it. So to each their own. But if you are into somebody who does room measurements, you can check out Joe and Tell. No, just kidding. Yeah. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends on how lazy I'm feeling. But I try to, just to give people a reference point. Yeah, I'm still learning too, right? Yeah. I'm still learning how to do that properly because I don't want to give misinformation.
Sure.
Right. And I always try to give a disclaimer like, hey, look, I'm just a dude with a calibrated mic and a free software. Yeah. All right. I'm not in a crazy room. I'm trying my best to give accurate measurements, but I'm still learning. Like I just learned the other day, I was watching Audioholics. They had this whole thing about room EQ. I'm like, oh shoot. Okay. So I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Still learning.
I think that's a good thing. It's a daily process. I know for me, you know, I'm learning stuff on my own. I learn stuff from others. You know, I see Socks in the house right here, this guy. So he's got an incredible home theater. Had a chance
All
to
reviewers need to build an anechoic chamber. I'm over here like I got 2 loudspeakers and a microphone. You know, that's it.
I actually see Chana does that though. So he was actually doing some live DJing the other night.
You know, what's funny is a lot of times people will be like, why don't you take it outside, do an outdoor measurement? I'm like, you don't know where I live. You don't understand. Like I live in the city. If I walk outside, it's so loud. Well, maybe
right
not
there
right
in
now,
the
actually.
street. It's the middle of the street is right there. Like, you're going to do that? Like
I don't back over your subwoofer.
I don't have a open, I don't know where you guys live, but not in my area. You got to go to a park.
I kind of live out in the country, but like we have a lot of strawberry fields and a lot of orange groves and things like that. So there's definitely some open areas, but you know, when you're reviewing a 220-pound subwoofer, I'll be honest, man, I have no desire to load that joker up, take it out in the middle of a field just so I can get some ground plane measurements. I mean, in my room is what's going to have to do, you know, and I just try to disclose that and say, look, this is my measurements in my room. And it's going to vary, you know, in your room. And oh man. So, but that would be ideal, but it's not happening with me.
Not happening.
Nope. Not at all. Let's see what else we got here. All right, here's a good one. So what's something that you recently learned about audio that made you change your mind? Something you learned about audio that made you change your mind.
You guys go. Because that was my question.
I know for me, probably the thing that comes to mind is what I literally just posted probably about an hour ago. And it's about mini DSP. So I had tons of guys tell me, you know, Michael, if you like your subwoofers now, get a mini DSP and it'll really help you dial those in. And I just kind of put it off. I even had mini DSP. They sent me the 2x4 HD to review it. And I sat on it. And the biggest reason is I just couldn't find a good, thorough step-by-step walkthrough on how do you set that thing up, man. And so I think I was just intimidated by it, like what you had mentioned earlier, Jerry, about just learning something new, you know. And then on top of that, I've got other things that I'm trying to crank out, you know, content-wise. to be able to break away 2, 3, 4 days, whatever it would take to kind of get a pretty good understanding of that was tough. But for me, I had help from 2 guys in particular. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank now. Home Theater Gurus, Stephen Smith. He's got an incredible channel, very, very detailed. So I used his, and then also Saul, that's in the chat with us right now. He was a huge help, and I mentioned him in the video as well. But to me, that was a huge game changer for my setup in being able to flatten that response, because I got some really nasty, funky dips in my room, man. It is not ideal, even though I have a dedicated theater room.
Who's
what
next?
do you guys got?
Oh man, this is a tough.
It's a tough one, because making you change your mind means that you were like maybe wrong about something, and that's hard to admit.
In talking about that, I was just saying that, you know, I really didn't see the value in a mini DSP. I'm like, oh, that's just something else I got to spend money on, you know. But it made a huge difference in my room. What do you guys think?
I mean, personally, I would say it happened a while ago, but I mean, it was, like I said, years ago. Just for me, the importance of power chords. That was, I mean, just game changing for me. I'm like, come on, it's a power chord, and the amount of A/B demos that I had to do to, you know, that once I heard it, I was astonished, and I just had to keep doing it again. Like, oh my God, that really does work. So that was something that I never believed in, you know, power chords. And now it's kind of my soapbox with my clients. I'm like, look, don't buy that more expensive HDMI cable. Buy this better power cord, because I think it makes a bigger difference. So that was something that happened a long time ago, but certainly a game changer for me.
Gotcha. Very cool. What else?
I've never had that experience, you know.
Yeah.
So I can't even speak on that. Like, to me, it doesn't. I don't know why that would make a difference. So it's not a debate for right now, but it's just one of those things. I haven't tested it. I haven't heard it, so I can't even speak on it. Right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chana. What do you got? Chana's.
Oh no, I put my hand up because the lighting just totally changed.
Oh, okay.
I guess a cloud flew over. You know, I would say that
I know. I can smell
from my standpoint, there's always more to learn, especially when I'm mixing and stuff like that. So for me, I think one thing that I just did one thing I realized like about 6-8 months ago is that unlike Mike, I am not a horny guy. I am not a huge.
We go there every time, man.
I'm not a huge fan. I am a huge Klipsch fan, but I think I'm getting away from that horn sound and experimenting with different or just listening to different speakers that have different materials for their mid and top end.
Sure.
So I think that's one thing that I realized like about 6-8 months ago, and I'm really loving those Martin Logans and the Electrostats. And I think the next thing that I need to tackle is getting a microphone and start doing some measurements just to see how my room is handling. Because I know in my main listening position, I'm not getting as much bass as I am sitting next to on the other couch, or sitting at the dining table. I'm getting way more bass, you know? So, if I want to dial in my situation a little bit better, then it's time to get a mic and, you know, just be like Joe, a normal dude with a mic and a free software.
Well, Chana, you want the expensive one, so Ron, send them the link to the Earthworks stuff and affiliate link. Make sure it's affiliate.
I'll make sure.
What you got, Ron?
Man, I'm always learning things. I mean, I recently learned that I like Adam way more than the rest of you guys, so there's that.
Wow.
You want to start a new channel? We could be like HiFi Daily. We could do like No, you know, I mean, for me, you know, this has been a wild ride, and you know, there's always been like pivotal, you know, moments through my HiFi journey where you think you know the way things are, and then your mind is blown over and over again. I would say that if we're gonna use the word recently, it was pretty interesting to mess around with like room correction and figure out where I think that works well and where it doesn't work well. And yeah, and for me, just down low, if you can, work with it down low, seems to work best for me. And it can do some pretty remarkable things with speakers that you wouldn't expect in terms of just getting, a little bit cleaner response down low. Up high, it's debatable. I don't like it so much when you try to, treat everything. But yeah, room correction software and stuff like that recently has been something that has been interesting to mess around with.
Good point.
Yeah, I think I would go along those same lines, actually. I used to allow Odyssey to just do its thing, right? So do a full range correction. And then I started watching those Audioholics videos, and the guy's saying, past certain frequency, like 500 hertz, somewhere around there, that area, that after that, it doesn't really work so well and actually makes it sound worse in many cases. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, thought this was supposed to like make your speakers perfect, right? You just put your speakers anywhere and then Odyssey will make it all good. You know what I mean? It'll fix it right up. And so that's it kind of like I was fighting with that for a little bit. I'm like, no, that can't be right. I mean, it's got to work. So I just tested it, and in the Odyssey editor, you're able to limit where the frequency where it stops filtering. Right. Mm-hmm. So I tried it in my room. In my room, I did some tests and I found out about 700 hertz was about right. And my speakers just kind of came alive. It was kind of amazing. I'm like, whoa, that sounds way better. Right. And it's because, before I was kind of just being like Odyssey on versus Pure Direct. Mm-hmm. And of course, it's hard to tell. It just sounds so different. Pure Direct, like the volume is lower. Right. It's muddier because my speakers are too close to the wall. And so Odyssey sounded better. Mm-hmm. But what I found out was it can sound even better if you use Odyssey for the bass frequencies and just kind of let the speakers do what they do above that. And I'm doing tone controls for the rest, which are okay, right? So I can just kind of do what I need to do there. But yeah, I'm gonna have a video about that. Actually, I was just so amazed. At first, I was mad because this guy was saying some stuff that was against what I was thinking. I was a little bit upset.
Power chord? How dare you? That's power chord.
But then I was happy because that means that I'm learning something new.
Absolutely,
right.
man.
Very cool.
I think it's good that some guys in the the hi-fi world, they get so kind of in tune with what they believe is right, and they're unwilling to learn something new. They're unwilling to change. And I think it's at least give something a shot, whether it's power cords, whether it's cables, whether it's whatever, try it, hear it for your own ears and make your own judgment. A lot of what we hear and a lot of what we do in this arena is subjective. We know that, what sounds wonderful to me, Ron is going to hate it for sure, but that's just the way it is. Our ears hear differently. Our rooms are differently. We have different styles and different perceptions there. What's that?
Good. I'm sorry, I was going to jump in on that real quick. It was interesting when I was researching MQA and that came out. Mm-hmm. It was interesting to read about, people hear differently because of their background experience. Mm-hmm. And that's something I always tell people. Like, if you've never heard a cello in a symphony hall, how do you expect to know what it's supposed to sound like coming out of speakers? So. Yeah. There's more neurons that go from our from the brain to the ears rather than from the ears to the brain. Sure. So that way, our brains tell our ears how to hear. So it's totally true, and it's actually fascinating to do a little more research on how humans hear. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Third Era, thank you so much. You see that, guys?
Thank you. I did see it.
$1.99 super chat. Thank you, super chat.
Thank you, man.
I mean, Third Era.
Appreciate that. I was about to let me go back up here.
Representing for the car audio community there. We got everybody in here. We got home theater. We got 2-channel guys. We got car audio. We love it all. DIY, where are you guys at?
I've seen a few.
Oh, they're right there behind you.
I've seen a few in here. So I saw a good question here. I got to go find it now. I was right over it. And then when y'all said that, I scrolled down.
Salk says, have Ron come over, youth man. I guess, Ron, you need to make it over to Florida, buddy.
Hey, these guys have an open invitation. Okay, I found it. Here we go. Here's a good question. Check this out. So what's your current go-to or signature demo song? What's your
No
go-to?
California, no Hotel California.
Like your most recent.
That's like when you walk into Guitar Center, you start playing Stairway to Heaven, and they stop you. They're like, no,
denied.
Do something different.
I'm gonna have to look at that one.
Well, let's see. I'm a big Stevie Ray Vaughan fan, so he's got the Riviera Paradise, No Tin Pan Alley. I think that's starting to come up there on the Hotel California heels of demo songs. So that one and the Oscar Peterson Trio. That's all. Anything from him is actually really good. The recordings are nice. So, but yeah, those are usually my two go-to ones right off the bat.
Sure. How many of you have seen A Star Is Born?
I have.
A couple of you?
Oh.
You haven't? Dude, I'm telling you, I got turned on to the music that's in that. Phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big Lady Gaga fan, but oh my goodness, it's beautiful. It's absolutely breathtaking. It really is. There was 2 songs on there. There was Shallow and then Always Remember Us This Way.
Yeah,
man, I'll tell you, man, you could just sit there and just like zone out and just kind of soak it in. Good stuff. So I don't know, for me that would be probably 2 go-tos, because again, I'm in a home theater. So man, absolutely, those are great. What'd y'all say?
That's so tough, because I like Chana. So Chana, I know you have a whole playlist, right? And you have that linked up. You could probably send a link to that, but you have a whole entire playlist, and so do I. I run through an entire playlist of songs because I'm looking for different things in each song, right? So one song might be bass response, the other one might be something where I want to see how hot the treble is, another one for imaging, right? But almost always I'm always playing, for some reason. It's a weird one to test on because it's a old track and not a great recording, technically speaking. But At Last by Etta James.
I knew it because you played that when I went to your place.
Yeah,
he's talking to Etta James.
It's the reason is because I want to hear some of those flaws. Like if I can hear the flaws, then that means the speakers are doing what they're supposed to do. Sure. Also, she sounds like she's slightly off center, which is good, and I know where she's supposed to sound, right? Because I've heard it so many times. Like she's slightly off center, to the left, sounds like she's up a little bit. And if it sounds like it's to the right, I'm like, okay, well, there's something wrong. Maybe your speakers are flipped, right?
Sure.
So just that, the fact that she's slightly off center helps me out a lot when it comes to imaging.
Yeah, no, totally.
Any other ones?
As Joe mentioned, I have a list, and I actually have a new list. It's my new tunes March 2020. As you guys, well, I don't know if Adam knows, but I'm a DJ, so I'm always looking at new music. And Adam, you just mentioned that MQA, and I've been rolling through a lot of Tidal MQA, and I really like this new track by Charlie Puth called "I Warned Myself," and that thing just comes in and just slams on those speakers, man. Huh?
It pounds?
It pounds, dude. It slams. It does all that. I Warned Myself, Charlie Puth. I think it's fairly new. I think so, yeah. But yeah, I've been digging that. That's on my list of my new stuff.
Techno Dad's not into horns, but he's into the stuff that pounds.
That's right.
He's finally getting there though, because he hadn't had subwoofers for a long time.
That's I still don't own a subwoofer technically. There's just like 5 subwoofers. Well, 6 here at the house. So
I'm just thinking, you're missing out so much, man. So much.
There's only so much like loud listening I want to do. I gotta keep my hearing.
Well, I mean, it just fills in that bottom. I'm telling you, man. Until I get excited when talk about subwoofers, man.
He's a horny guy. That Mike.
What does the subwoofer have to do with that?
Oh man. Anyway, I'll tell you this. Friday night was nuts. I actually ran Odyssey with the 2 Rel 1508 Predators. They're on sale now, $1,500 each. So they sent me 2 of them, and I stacked them with a little mounting stacking hardware, whatever. And I ran Odyssey, and then I was just like, they had me turn it down to like the level at 9 o'clock. Yeah. So after I ran out Odyssey, I bumped it back up to midnight, and man, I watched like a couple of scenes like that Bumblebee, that first scene in like where is it in Cybertron,
Oh,
and the things are like slamming down. Holy crap! Pressurized my living room like nobody's business, and it's like I had over 4,200 cubic feet, so like I didn't ever think it was going to happen.
Yeah,
and compared to the SVS, like this was just
wow,
it was better. So,
wow,
pretty insane. And that's when my kid asked me, like, text me at 2 a.m. to turn it down.
Dad, it's too loud.
It's too loud.
It's too loud. Why is it so loud?
Turn it down.
But yeah.
What else you got?
Here's a question from Mike. So I have a question for you guys for a 16-foot by 10-foot, maybe bigger. I'm just wondering what's your opinion on running a duo center speaker. So I'm assuming you're asking, should you run 2 centers? Everything that I've seen online, and I haven't experienced this like personally, but when you run multiple center channels, sometimes you get into what I guess they call it. Is it comb filtering?
Yeah, phase cancellation and foam filtering. Yeah.
I don't think it's a wise thing. I think if you get a quality single center channel, I think you're going to get the best sound out of that. I just don't see any reason to have multiple center channels. So what about you guys? What do you think?
Not a good idea.
No.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it.
Negatory.
Good question, Mike. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I'd say a good three-way center would be good if you can. Yeah, what's so funny, Joe?
I thought you were about to say no to 2, but yes to 3.
Wow.
We always I would expect
Make sure to get it from Worldwide Stereo.
Right. They've got a wide
selection
of center channel speakers.
Mercy.
Calibration will help you out on that with the center channel. Make sure it's calibrated properly, and it'll cut through just like it's supposed to.
Yeah, for sure.
And then depending on the content you're watching, I know with the cable box, and some of like the crappy shows my wife likes to watch, I usually have to bump up the center channel like 2 dB just to make things a little bit more clear. And then she's also watching the stuff from the kitchen. So she turns it up and stuff like that. So you just have to go in there and compensate a little bit with your levels and make sure you run your room correction.
Ron, why were you laughing right now? I saw you giggling about something.
Oh, what Chana said, my wife and crappy music or whatever.
TV shows.
TV show, yeah. Anything Bravo, right?
Yeah, that made me laugh. That's funny.
Because I saw that comment about Careless Whisper, and I couldn't just help thinking about that guy on YouTube with the sexy saxophone. I don't know if you ever seen that.
What was his name? Kenny G.
Yeah, exactly.
Goodness, Matt's got a great question. Large and small on the AVs. What's your opinion? Does it make a difference?
Ooh.
Running your speakers as large or running them as small? What do you guys tend to do on yours?
That's going to be on my next video, but I want to hear you guys.
This is probably going to be different for 2-channel and home theater as well.
Yeah, I'll kick it off here. Yeah, I mean, I do both. So I have.
He goes both ways.
I go both. No, easy.
Let's keep it going,
Hey.
Sorry, I saw that. I had to take it. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a layup, right?
Yeah.
So with my setup, I'll go when I listen to music. Remember, before my speakers, I pull them out and I bring them out to where they're supposed to be placed. So whenever I do my 2-channel listening, they're in pure direct mode, which bypasses everything and automatically sets them to large. And I fold in a Sumiko subwoofer, so that's hooked up to the front left and right terminals as well. So even when listening to full bandwidth out of the fronts, I'm also getting the subwoofer in direct mode. Okay. But when I put my speakers back, I put them to small so that I can engage a low pass crossover, because movies are tough. I mean, movies, you never know what explosion is about to happen. And this has, setting your speakers to large or small, I always say, never has anything to do with the overall testosterone of your speakers. It's about keeping your speakers safe.
Nice.
And allowing the woofer to kind of make up that movie theater, because your front speakers handle so much of the score of the movie or that massive explosion that's about to happen. So even a 60, 80, I don't go all the way. I don't take it high, but I set them to small for that application so that my woofer can help out and be more dynamic, and which is what movies are all about. So allowing the woofer to handle a lot of that lower stuff gives you, I think, a better dynamic range experience when listening to a movie. But for 2-channel, it's all, full or large, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's a perfect answer.
Yeah. I think to piggyback what you said is there was one time I tried to do full range in home theater, but I was only just running 2 speakers. I just wanted to hear what they could do in and of themselves.
Sure.
I don't remember what demo it was, and I've got some big speakers. I've got some Clips RF-7.3s, so they've got dual 10-inch. So you think, oh man, 10s, man, they'll just pound, right?
Yeah.
There were a few notes that it didn't like. I was like, oh, that wasn't good, you know? And like you said, I think it's safer letting your subwoofer do what it's meant to do, and that's handle those really low frequencies, you know? So
try up the alarm to Apollo 13, man.
Yeah. And there's some crazy movies out there that just have some big bass, big explosions, and deep notes that, you know, maybe your floor standing speakers aren't really meant to handle that well in that application.
I want to jump in here and just say that very few speakers, well, not few, but most people's speakers aren't full range, right? They don't go down to 20 hertz. So you probably don't want to set them to large unless they can, right? And so, for example, a lot of the stuff that Odyssey is doing to kind of correct that, I think you're going to be able to take advantage of it if you set it to small. Because let's say, like, for example, my speakers are very close to the wall, which is not optimal, right? What ends up happening is the bass is very just muddy, bloated because of that, right? So if I don't set it to small, it's going to try to produce those bass notes, right? It's better for me to just kind of cut it off and say, no, you know, don't play those. Let the sub handle it, and then Odyssey's kind of managing the bass on those. Also, by setting it to small, it allows you to play them louder, right? And so your amp doesn't have to work as hard. You have an amp in that sub. Let it do what it's going to do. You can play your speakers louder. So it's a win-win. Set them to small.
Mm-hmm. I have mine set to large, but I was running no subwoofers. So, and they were going, they're going down to 30 hertz. So, you know, and it has a really nice roll off. These are the Martin Logan ESLX. So besides the like actual rumbles, you would still hear and feel some shaking and stuff like that. But I know they're not going to come close to handling anything from like Edge of Tomorrow. Right. Mm-hmm. Is that the name of the Tom Cruise movie where he keeps dying?
Yeah.
That part was awesome. Yeah, the very beginning of that.
How many wine glasses did it rumble?
It shook. It you know, when I have the subwoofers on, it shakes quite a few wine glasses in the kitchen, which is, you know, on the other end of the room.
See, if you guys don't know, Chana doesn't currently do any microphone measurements, anything like that, but he does test how much it shakes the wine.
How many wine glasses?
How many wine glasses are shaking?
And if they fall off, that's really
good. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, there's a couple of scenes in what is it? A Quiet Place where like the windows by our seats were like rattling, and that's usually never happened.
Whoa.
Talk about an oxymoron, huh? Quiet Place.
Yeah, exactly. And they have a sequel. I don't know how that's gonna work.
Here's a good question. Is there a benefit in using an amplifier with built-in DSP versus mini DSP, not counting direct?
DSP versus mini DSP.
Simplicity. A lot of mini DSPs, you know, you're going to have to learn quite a few things in order to get that working right. You're going to need to learn how to use REW. So it's not that easy, right? No, it's not simple. So for simplicity, you know, if you have one of the built-in ones in the AVRs, just plug in that mic that they give you and let it do its thing. But of course, mini DSP will let you tweak to your heart's content. So you can do more with it.
Sure.
Now, is he talking about an amplifier or a receiver? Because I don't think are there amplifiers with DSP in them?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like an actual amplifier? Okay.
Well,
like an integrated, right?
Like a pair sound amplifier. That's what I mean.
I'm thinking I do a lot of like house audio amplifiers. So Sonance, for instance, and all those outdoor landscape systems, they have DSP built into those, you know, for room correction. So I think that's what that's what he was talking about.
I think so too. Yeah.
Gotcha. Very cool. And honestly, I think he's got some of those type of amplifiers in his setup. So might be where that's coming from. Now, what's up with this, Nicholas? Does facial hair correlate audio expertise? And if so, what's youth man's excuse? Amen.
Oh no, I guess I win, huh?
Everybody defer to
touche, brother.
This will be Michael's last show.
I guess so, man. We're introducing the replacement. Man, oh man.
You might have the beard. I got you on the eyebrows though.
True. Mine are just white. What else we got here? Let me see. Let's go back to our other question. All right, let's see.
And we can start taking calls too. If you want to throw up that number,
there we go.
Surprise us with some questions, whatever you feel like asking. Just join us. You see, there's an empty spot right there.
I'll be right back, guys.
818-237-3030. Give us a call. Adam is going to answer it.
Yes.
He's like, what?
He can handle anything.
Oh man.
And if not, there's a WWC gift card involved or something.
That's right. his nickname at Worldwide Stereo.
I don't know.
Worldwide Wizards. He just got it all together, man. So if you got a question, give us a call. Be glad to answer that. And we'll go back into some of the comments as well. See what else we got over here. Oh, so are there more than one beard at Worldwide Stereo?
Yeah, I actually don't take the trophy on that one. We got a guy. It's definitely got a thicker, wider. He goes straight down from here. I just I get it to a point,
Got to taper it off there.
I taper it off, yeah. But we got another guy at the other locations. Definitely got the massive beard. Yeah.
Okay, we got a call coming in. Let's see if we can take this here.
Go ahead.
All right. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
Awesome.
Who's calling?
Hey, it's so cool to listen to you guys live. I'm usually at work, but with the quarantine and everything.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Michael. I'm calling from Sacramento, California.
Awesome, Michael.
CA all day.
Oh yeah, West Coast.
So what's happening tonight?
My question. Well, I just helped a lady clear out a bunch of stuff in her garage. She gave me a few records, so I got like $300 worth of records. I'm kind of like going through those right now and watching you guys.
Very cool, man.
My question is that my parents just moved into a new home. It's a vaulted ceilings and hardwood floor. They love karaoke, loud music, and it's like an acoustic nightmare right now. It's like giving me a headache, even just them yelling. And so I was thinking, like, Mom, you should hang up some like tapestries. Those will kind of help block out the sound.
Sure.
And I sent her a link to those like decorative acoustic panels that Ron showed in a video. And I was wondering if there's any other tips that you guys may have.
Good question. So as far as acoustic things to kind of help tame some of those echoes?
Yep.
Yeah. So hear me out on that. When it comes to anything that is going to be echoey, what you're dealing with is hard surfaces, and any kind of absorption is going to be your friend. So it doesn't even need to necessarily be panels. There's things that you can do just with home furnishing. Anything soft that's going to soak up some of that nastiness is a good idea. But in terms of panels, really, there's even do-it-yourself options, and it's easy to build out those frames and get those up on the wall, and they'll make a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because this is a room where there's a pool table, so there's not a lot of space for furniture. There's going to be maybe a love seat, but that's going to be it.
Do they have a rug?
It's half carpet on one side and then half hardwood.
Okay.
I'll talk to them about maybe getting a rug.
Yeah.
Pretty much
Add
anything.
mass, right? Add anything that can absorb, like anything possible.
Bugs.
You can have Adam over. His beard will probably take up a lot of that.
Too much absorption with Adam's beard. You don't want to do that.
Suck the life out of the room. I've even seen Ron, I think it was on your channel that you mentioned that you can even put additional padding underneath the rug to add even more absorption, which I'd never thought of that. So that's a pretty cool idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was shocked at the difference that
would
made.
actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, that can make a huge difference. So you have your rug, you know, in my case, I have the shag rug, but then underneath it, I went out and I bought from like Rugs Direct or something like that, basically like a thick padding that goes underneath the rug. And I bought 2 different rug pads, and that helped out tremendously. So you can get pretty creative without even putting anything on the walls. So
I never thought of that. That's a good idea.
Okay. Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Something new every day, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks for calling.
All right. Well, yeah, it was great to finally get to talk to you guys. All right. Have a great rest of your day.
For sure.
so much,
Take care.
You. Take care.
Take care, Michael.
Good deal, guys.
Yeah,
You got
so-
a question? Feel free to
Yeah.
give us a call. 818-237-3030.
I also want to add, if you're not already subscribed to youtube.com/daily HiFi, after, you know, pretty soon we're going to start moving this all over there, because right now we're jumping from one channel to the other. So it's a little bit confusing to some people. So if you're not already subscribed to youtube.com/daily HiFi, do that after this. You can do it now if you want. But that's where a lot of this is going to be. And we're starting to chop up these videos that we're doing now into smaller segments. So if you don't want to sit through an hour, hour and a half of us talking, well, you can just take a look at the individual questions. Oh, we got another
Right.
call.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
All right. You are on the air.
Hello, how you guys doing today?
Hey,
How's it
we're
going?
great.
very good.
Hey, this is Chris from Ohio.
How's it going, Chris?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. You got a question for us?
I got a couple questions. The first one's for Ron. I'm looking to get a tube amplifier. I have a set of Cornwall 3s,
Okay.
and I'm just using a Marantz slimline receiver as a, as my
Input source.
amplifier right now.
Mhm.
I'm looking, something for, to start out with, nothing to break the bank.
Okay. You have even a rough
in
idea
the
on
tube
budget?
amplifier.
You have even a rough idea on your budget?
Let's say $1,000.
$1,000. Okay. Okay.
Ron, how would you spend his money?
Yeah.
We're good
Send
at
me-
spending other people's money, right?
Send me the money over and I'll certainly spend it. No doubt about that. I'll tell you what, my friend, let me do some digging around. I don't want to blow off this question. I'm actually already digging around, seeing what I can find. But if you just email me, ron@newrecordday.com, I'll come up with a list of stuff that I would recommend. $1,000 will be a little bit tricky. But we can make it work. We can make
Is-
now. Is it just
you
a
say
power
tubes?
amp?
You want it to be
Yeah,
tube?
tube, yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at like the Prima Luna,
Yeah,
Prima
Prima-
Luna is where I was going.
That's what I was going to recommend. So if you could extend that budget, let's say 1,500, 2K, somewhere within that bracket, I think that Prima Luna would be a fantastic choice for sure.
All right. Yeah. I had a gentleman here that was selling one on like Facebook Marketplace. So
Oh,
I think
okay.
it was the 5.
Okay.
I can't remember which one it was. It was the Prima Luna 5. It's discontinued now. They're making the Evo series or something now. So,
Shoot.
but
yeah,
he wanted like $1,300 for it.
there you go. Yeah. So I had a feeling that if you could extend your budget to that, I think 1,500 is kind of a magic point where you're going to have a little bit more options there. Hey, Adam, do you guys offer Prima Luna at Worldwide?
Currently, no, we do not.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So shoot me an email. I'll start digging around. If you don't mind the idea of buying used, that could be a game changer for you. And it sounds like you're open to that idea. There's some Rogue Audio stuff that you might want to consider as well, which is pretty good. And that's going to be a contender of Prima Luna. But yeah, we'll get you hooked up, man.
How about a question I have is why do you want to go with a tube power amp? Is it tube power amp?
Dare you? How dare you?
No. It's an honest question, because the other alternative might be like, what if you had a tube preamp and a solid state power? I mean,
Yeah, right. That'd be a
I
cheaper
don't know
route.
what would benefit me the best. Would like go a preamp, a tube preamp, or would because I have a A23 Parasound amplifier.
Oh, nice.
That I've been using, for that, for the Cornwalls. But I don't know. I just wanted to try something different, experience something, new.
I love
maybe a little warmer sound.
Yeah, I love it. Boy, this is going to be a longer conversation, so I'm not going to do this on the show, but it all comes down to the sensitivity of the speakers and getting the right amp for those speakers. But can you get a warmer presentation with a tube preamp like Joey is recommending? Absolutely, you can. But again, it's just about that synergy of your speaker and what we're trying to do with that speaker. So we'll get you.
Well, Eclipse Cornwalls are 102 dB sensitive.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
It's not going to take a lot of power to run them.
That's the thing. So in your example, that's what I was going to say is that, a tube amp, just an integrated tube amp, that might be, I would want to hang out with you. I think that might be a killer little rig, to be honest with you.
I want to hang out with you.
Yeah, hang out with you.
If you don't,
how many watts would you recommend, Ron?
For something like that, man, 102 dB, you do not need much. I mean, you could wake up the neighbors with 5 watts for crying out loud. You don't need. Yeah.
Well,
I think the Prima Lunas I were looking at were like 40 per channel.
Bro, I'm gonna hear you from Arizona, and I don't even know where you are. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah,
right.
No problem. Yeah.
All right. I don't want to keep you on too long and give somebody else a chance. But I had one more question. I was so bummed that we didn't get to go to Expona this year. I really wanted to meet you guys, and I wanted to check out some preamplifiers for my home theater system. And I really wanted to see the Emotivo stuff, which I know you guys don't care for too much. But I ended up going with the 7705.
Okay.
The Marantz 7705.
Yeah.
Youth Man, do you have any secret settings for that thing that make it
I've got no qualms with
sound good? Or
I think the only thing that Emotiva put out that I wasn't super impressed with lately was the RMC1. Just quite buggy. Wasn't because it didn't sound good, because it sounded great in my system when it was working properly. But their amplifiers, they make some really, really solid amplifiers. I've got the XPA DR3 in for review. I've reviewed the XPA 11, fantastic amplifier for home theater. So I've got no issues with them. But like I said, they just have always seemed to struggle with their processors, just getting those to work.
Well, I ended up getting I got the 7705, so I went with that.
Yeah,
because it was easier to get, but I've had it for just a weekend. I got it set up on Saturday, so I was hoping any little tricks with that thing that you have, because I know you've had it for a while.
Sure. Honestly, we were talking about Odyssey earlier. I've got a video on my channel on Odyssey using that, so maybe check that one out. There's nothing in particular. A lot of it's going to be. We were even talking about this the other night. Do you use dynamic EQ? Do you turn dynamic EQ off? And so again, that's going to be preference. The best thing I can tell you is dive into it, figure out what your ears like. Pick up a dB meter and make sure that you level match your speakers. Now, of course, you can adjust those to your liking. Like Chana mentioned, he likes to bump his center channel up a couple dB. Nothing wrong with that. That's all preference. But at least it'll get all your speakers level.
Yeah, I've done that. I even run REW. So then I'm trying to learn a little more.
Good.
Like, I'm really trying to learn. I wish there's somebody that had a video that showed us exactly what the DSP settings on the SVS subs do. So you have to you go in and you got a big null and you want to take that null, try to get some of that null out. It's like, what do you do? When you've never done it, really,
that's a basic PEQ, I think, on this SVS. So PEQ, so parametric EQ is very, it's a frequency,
sure,
and then how much you want to tweak it up and down, and then the Q, which is how wide or how narrow that is.
That's exactly right.
You can get those numbers from REW when you do the correction there. it'll tell you, it'll give you like a a set of numbers there, and you can plug that right into the SVS.
I think
that's something I need to learn how to do.
Yeah, I think Youthman's got a pretty much a walkthrough on the app that'll help you out on that. If you want to check out his channel, it's pretty good stuff.
You mean yours?
Yeah.
We're just talking in the third person here.
See, because he's near
Youthman
50K
made a
now.
video about
Before he's before he used to do that. Now he's near 50,000 subscribers. So he speaks
mine
in third
changes. Right?
Yeah, I know. I got his email today
Yeah.
for his big huge giveaway.
All right. The 50K celebration. That's right.
Before you go, real quick, the only tube to answer your first question, the only tube amp that I've really experienced, I've tried out, is this one by Quad. It's called the VA1.
Okay.
And it's actually a integrated amp and a headphone amplifier, but it's tube, and it's a little bit higher than your price range, but maybe something that you might want to check out also. I like the sound. We were actually at the previous Expona. We were testing this out, and they were bumping, and it was filling the whole room with sound. It's only like 15 watts, but if your speakers are efficient, might be okay.
All right.
Great question, man.
Thanks, man.
Stay safe.
Appreciate you giving us a call.
And,
Thank you.
Have a good one, man.
Take care.
Take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
And we might have something for that, Expona. We have some plans coming up.
Yeah.
We'll let everybody know.
Expona replacements. Wow.
Once we have something, and try to get something going here.
So Wanra wanted a shout out. It is his birthday, so happy birthday, Wanra. He's deciding between a Marantz or a Denon. Oh snap! Is that another phone caller? My bad.
Of course, it's nonstop here. All right, you are on the air. What's your name and what is your question?
Justin.
What's up, Justin?
So, hey, what's up, man? All right, so I was actually the one that asked you guys about the using an amplifier with full DSP.
Yeah.
So I was not referring to the AVR. Mine has full parametric EQ, delay, all that stuff. Because I did watch Michael's video. He was talking about Room EQ Wizard. Mm-hmm. Now, my question was, should I be able to use that using the microphone that he has before spending any money at all on anything from any DSP?
So could you use like a REW with the UMIC 1 in conjunction with your built-in parametric EQ? Is that the question?
No. So bypassing mini DSP, right? Because my amplifier already has all the DSP, all the features already on it.
Right.
So my question is it still worth buying a mini DSP? Maybe there's certain features on there that mine doesn't have.
Okay.
So right now, if you guys can see it, I'm using a iNuke. No, I'm sorry, not an iNuke. NX6000D.
Okay.
Is that like a pro audio amplifier?
It is pro audio, yeah.
Okay. Do you know what type of filters they use? If they are
high pass, low pass. Is that?
Let's see. I think there's just a difference. Like, I'm not well versed in it, but I know that they have FIR filters, IIR filters, and they require different types of processing. And one is actually better than the other. Like, for example, the old mini DSP, not the old mini DSP 2x4, does not have enough processing power to do what the mini DSP 2x4 HD can do. So you can actually do more advanced stuff. Like, for example, you've heard of Dirac, right? That requires the faster processor. So I can't, like if I go to mini DSP right now, I can get a 2x4 and I can pay for Dirac Live, I believe. I don't know if they've changed it, but I could pay for that on that version, but I couldn't do it on the old version because of the types of filters.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, that pretty much answers that then.
What? Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was it, man. I'm gonna go back to watching the video. I'm watching you guys live right now.
Well, I appreciate you calling, man.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely. Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
So Jim Blair here says, what mic am I using? And it is the Shure SM7B sent to me by Worldwide Stereo. I owe you guys a review of this. So thank you guys for sending this out. Yeah.
My pleasure.
Yeah. You know, I'm kind of backed up with all these all the craziness going on right now. So, but I do owe you a review. Don't worry. We got another call here. Let's see here.
You better call Tyrone.
You're on the air. What's your name and what is your
going
question?
on, guys?
What's up?
Hello.
I've been watching you guys for a while. My name's Anthony Grimaldi. I'm from Long Island, New York. I'm actually 21 years old, and unfortunately, I have a home theater in my parents' basement.
Hey,
nothing wrong with
all
that.
good, man. All good, man.
I converted my whole. We actually rented a house instead of buying it. My parents actually got divorced, and basically, I redid this whole basement just to do this home theater. And what I'm into is, like, you know how Youth Man got that guy to build his whole theater. That guy did all that work.
Yeah.
Well, I'm into modifying speakers, subwoofers, anything. I actually made my own floor standing speakers.
Yeah.
They are basically the exact dimensions of a Klipsch RS3. They're my design of it. But getting to the question, my question is I got the Monolith 7X, and that thing to me, I originally had the Crown XLS 2502. I had two of them. And I was using them as my front stereo. I was using them 2 monoblocks because I actually have. I'm crazy. I actually have three floor standing speakers on each side, so a total of 6 speakers for two front. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
I have pre-outs. I'm pre-outing everything, and that's just my craziness of it. But my question is so basically I'm doing a Monolith 7X, and 6 outs are going to 6 front speakers, and then the 7th terminal is going to the center, and then my rest of my I have a what is it? It's the Denon 8500. And it's doing the I got the 6 in ceilings, and I have a total. I have all the sides, but I'm crazy enough that I actually have 2 sides, dual sides, and 3 behind. If you get what I mean, it's hard to explain. I've pre-outed, so I have more than normal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I have a 13-foot by 25-foot room, so so you get that length.
Right.
My question to you guys is the Monolith 7X versus the Emotiva. The Emotiva was $2,100, and the Monolith was $1,800. I went with the Monolith, but I know you guys reviewed the Emotiva. What's your guys' opinion on sound quality?
I think we're gonna have to let Chana answer that one.
Well, first of all, if you guys didn't know, Mike's computer froze, so that's why we're in this screen here, and he can only see what's going on in the chat. He's gonna close Chrome, but if you jump over to the Facebook chat, he says, "I'm completely in the dark." LOL. So
right now you can say whatever you want about Mike.
Yeah.
To answer your question though, out of the Emotiva and the Monoprice, I had both their 9-channel versions, and I like the Monoprice better.
Meaning, was it the sound quality that won you?
I think it was that and the reliable output. I'm not a huge. I don't think I'm a huge fan of a Type H amplification, and the Monoprice is a Type AB or something like that. The amplifier topology or whatever it's called. They're claiming 300 watts output on those channels. Oh, there he is. Mike is back in.
Man, I don't know what. All right, so I'm gonna delete this guy and this guy. I think that better?
There we go.
Hey.
Man, my browser like completely froze. I was going to share my screen and it was like, oh
It's like,
snap.
nope.
It was
no,
gone.
you won't.
No.
All right.
And I think Mike also, Mike, did you review both a Emotiva amp and a Monolith amp?
Yes. So I've got the Monolith X11. So that's 11 channels. You're getting 200 watts by 3 and then 100 watts by 8. And the Emotiva is pretty similar, but they put more in the front end. So they have 300 watts by 3 and then like 65 watts by 8.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But honestly, I didn't hear a difference, at least with my setup. My system's pretty efficient, but both of those sounded fantastic. They really did.
Are they both Class Ds?
Yeah.
No, the Monolith is an AB. And
An AB.
And it's an
The other one's a
H
Class
on it.
G or H.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What the Class H?
Yeah,
I don't
it's-
even get me
it's
started.
The
different.
Monolith is 100 pounds
Yeah, it's a beast, man. No, it's a
versus
beast.
50 pounds.
No, it's a beast. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna do trying to remove that thing because it's like behind my TV and like I can barely and it's front heavy. That 100 pounds is front heavy, so it's like a big awkward box.
You know what you need to do?
What's that?
You need to work out.
I need to work out.
You
No,
need to work
I knew you were
it
gonna
out.
say that. I've actually
You just gotta man up, man.
You know what? That VR boxing is awesome, man. I do like 1 hour of that every day now that we're cooped up inside. I get
Nice.
plenty of cardio and it's fun and I get to listen to other music. It's fantastic. But you're right. I should work out.
I mean, there's
And
a
we
video
all
of me
should work out.
unboxing a Macintosh 901. I'm just saying I handled it by myself.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's, you and I can be friends. You and I can be friends. So you and
It's
you
180
and,
pounds, bro.
Where's he
Yeah,
at?
180 pounds. Jeez.
180 pound amplifier.
Yeah, I got 220-pound subwoofers. I'm moving around. It's all
There you
good.
go. With a hand drive. Ooh.
No,
Well,
If I have one other question,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a. I may want to private message you guys. I'm not into. My dad's into making the YouTube videos. He's on the automotive side. I'm huge into home theater, and I don't know what it would be to like get into like be like another spot on give like an opinion because I have lots of knowledge and stuff like you guys do,
All right.
but I just don't have the channel.
Well, let
know
me
what I
ask you
mean?
this.
You
Let
guys
me
don't
ask.
have a channel.
Do you have a smartphone?
Yeah.
All right. You have everything you need then, right?
Yep.
Just point that camera at yourself.
Yep.
Hit record.
that's right.
Talk. Upload to YouTube. It's free.
I made 417 videos using my cell phone.
Yep.
It's not
And
about
like,
the gear.
and like 40,000 subscribers.
No.
Like so, you can do it.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, what guys? You guys go on every week as like a live chat.
Yeah.
What would it take to do something like that to go on with you guys?
Oh,
a lot of money. Adam sent us a lot of money today, man. He doesn't know it, but
Look at that.
Worldwide Stereo is funding this deal, man.
made it rain to get him on here.
Well, before you do anything, all joking aside, build up your channel. Let's see what you got. You know what I mean? You got to prove yourself. So everybody wants to, be on, but you gotta show us something first. So go ahead and do your thing. It sounds like you enjoy audio, so do your thing first, and then we'll see what happens. All righty?
Gotcha.
Yeah, man.
No problem. Thank you very
Passion
much.
sells.
Hey.
Appreciate the call.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Well, cool. We're at
Stuff, yeah.
an hour and
About
18
an hour and 20,
minutes.
yeah.
So that's pretty good for right now. Let me just put this on pause because this is gonna keep ringing. So
I was hoping we were gonna take that guy over Chana, but I guess that's for another day.
oh man, Adam, you got something to plug here?
Yeah, tell us about it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So this coming Wednesday, we're going to be my very first personal Facebook Live that we're going to be doing. And we're just going to talk about, I want to focus on, as everybody's home right now, I want to talk about your TV, how to optimize your pictures. A lot of things out there when, the default settings out of the box, are they good enough? Aren't they? And then talk about moving to, a little bit more, something more dear and dear to my heart, that being the sound of it, adding, all the different sound bars that are out there and different surround sound setups and things that you can do with a TV. And it's going to be, a live feed again. It starts Wednesday at noon on our Facebook page. And I'm looking forward to the interaction, man. I can't wait to hear what people have to say, answer their questions, be that guy for them.
Well, just send us links because we'll, I can post it.
Yeah, we put them down in the show notes as well.
I'm dropping it in the comment box right now.
Thank you.
Boom.
Nice.
Thank you.
And we'll post them in the show notes as well after the show.
Yeah. Also, my YouTube channel, or Worldwide Stereo's YouTube channel, you'll find me on there a lot, doing a lot of the product reviews. That nice big amplifier I just talked to you about, that's on there. The unboxing,
I saw that.
Things like that. Oh, that thing is a piece of beauty. Oh my God, it is so gorgeous.
Nice.
So, but yeah, a lot of reviews are on there. So that's another area you can come check me out.
Sure.
And you guys could do a lot of giveaways on Worldwide Stereo too, right?
Oh yeah, we give away speakers all the time. I think we're doing this. I think it's.
I'm not sharing my screen.
That's something. Yeah, Cantos. We got some Cantos going. I did a review on the Tuck as well. So cool. They're cool, man. Yeah, we always give stuff away.
Yeah, I saw you. I think you recently reviewed also the Focal Coras.
Well, the Cora,
yeah, the Cora 826. Oh my God, they're spectacular. We got them right from the CES show. They flew them to us, and that was like my second time actually hearing an integrated, because we had the Klipsch version with the integrated Atmos speaker up top. And so I hooked it all up, and I put the receiver in just like a 9-channel stereo mode, and I disconnected the fronts. I just wanted to hear the Atmos speakers going up to the ceiling. Dude, it freaked me out. It was so cool. Like you heard just sound coming from the ceiling. So that kind of stuff really works. Those Atmos toppers, I mean, they're no joke. They really work well.
I don't know if you saw the video of Chana and I getting the demo over there at CES.
No,
we went over there to check out
live stream. So you got like our live reaction.
Yeah, that sounded awesome. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was just the room that was doing it, but I'm like, man, that sounds really.
Yeah, I mean,
it was very convincing.
I got 4 speakers in my ceiling now, so it's. I was very shocked at the results of that kind of accapplication. So really cool, and the new drivers, the slate fiber drivers, awesome.
And they're not
very quick, very accurate.
They're not crazy expensive.
No, it's going to be their, that starter line for Focal, replacing the Chorus line that they once had, and that their towers I think are $2,000. I think these are going to come in like 25-ish or so. I think for the ones with the Atmos in them. So not crazy.
I want those.
I know. I like. Oh, they have that light finish. So they have 3 finishes. You got black, then you have the dark wood, the light wood. I mean, you see, I have white speakers, so I'm kind of partial to that. I mean, that gloss white with the light maple finish. That's sexy.
Beautiful.
It looks so good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Good
Michael,
deal, man. I was just looking over at the comments, replying to some of those, man. But definitely, Adam, appreciate you coming on the show. Definitely been a blast getting to know you and hang
thanks
out.
for having me.
I know we've been working with Worldwide Stereo probably over the past maybe 6 months, maybe less, 3 months.
Yeah.
So several months. Super sweet guys, man. I think what you're doing in the hi-fi world is really, really great. Providing great products, great customer service. Definitely been just a joy just kind of getting to know you guys and your team. So I know right now it's different. It's not business as usual.
I'm used to being on the showroom floor, so it's a little different.
But I think it's awesome that you're willing to look at different avenues to get in touch with your customer base, as well as introduce yourself to some new fan base, even like through, jumping on. I mean, we invited Adam today, guys.
And he's like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, he was like, why not, man? So I'm like, dude, we'd love to have you on. Yeah.
It speaks a lot to you guys, though, just the fact that you would just jump on here. I mean, I like that. I mean, it's cool that we can just rap with you and just chat with you about all things hi-fi. Clearly, you're passionate about this stuff. And man, it's been a pleasure working with you for that very reason is that, I feel like we're amongst friends, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah. Well, you got to come back. So
please, I'm happy to come back anytime. I mean, this has been totally cool. This is the first time I've done something like this, and I'm having a whole lot of fun, guys. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. And honestly, that's kind of what we desire here with the Daily Hi-Fi, and even on all our channels. And we want to make audio fun. I think
it is fun. It should be
sometimes,
fun.
yeah, sometimes we
So
can
much
get
fun.
get a little too serious with it, you know. But the reality, man, at the end of the day, man, it should change. It should drive us. It should motivate us. It should, you know, just bring a smile to our face and just a joy in our heart, man. And so it's definitely been a blast having you hang out with us tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for another episode of Daily Hi-Fi. Again, my name is Michael Youthman. We got Shauna, Worldwide Stereos in the house. Thanks, Adam, for being here.
Thank you.
Joe and Tell, and Ron from New Record Day. Love you guys. Y'all stay safe. Stay inside. We'll catch you on the next podcast.
Stay home.
Listen to music every day, guys.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel over on, I'll pull the banner up here.
/Daily Hi-Fi.
Here you go. Go subscribe right now because we're going to eventually move all of these videos over there and we'll start streaming on that channel. Just makes it a little bit easier than having to bounce from one channel to the other. So you guys have a great week and we'll catch you in the next one.
Take it easy. Peace.
See.